Hello everyone, I am Shubhi Gehlot, student of Integrated MTech IT 8th semester, and this video presentation is a part of my information security assignment which is prepared under the guidance of Dr. Shaligram Prajapat. So without any further delay, let's get started. Today we are going to discuss the solutions of first internal question paper. The first question was explain Shannon ciphers and perfect security. Shannon ciphers refer to the cryptographic systems that use a one-time password encryption technique developed by Claude Shannon in the 1940s. In this system, a message is encrypted by XORing it with a random key of the same length. The key is then used only once and never reused, hence the name one-time pad. One of the key properties of the one-time pad encryption technique is that it provides perfect security, also known as unconditional security. This means that the ciphertext provides no information about the plain text, regardless of the computational resources available on an attacker. Perfect security is achieved only when the key used in the encryption is truly random, has the same length as the message, and is used only once. The proof of perfect security for one-time pad encryption is based on the fact that the ciphertext has the same statistical property as a truly random sequence. As a result, an attacker has no way of distinguishing the ciphertext from a random sequence and hence has no information about the plain text. The second part of the first question was explain Kirchhoff's principle and its modern interpretation. Kirchhoff's principle, also known as the principle of open design, is a principle in cryptography that states that the security of a cryptographic system should not depend on the secrecy of the algorithm but rather on the secrecy of the key. In other words, the security of a cryptographic system should rely solely on the strength of the key, not on the obscurity of the algorithm. The modern interpretation of Kirchhoff's principle is that security of a cryptographic system should not depend on the secrecy of the algorithm, but rather on the secrecy of the key. In other words, the security of a cryptographic system should rely solely on the key, which should be kept secret, and not on the algorithm or other part of the system. This means that the algorithm should be made publicly available and subject to scrutiny by the cryptographic community to ensure that it is secure. Third question was distinguish with effective illustration, threat, vulnerability and loss. What are the difference between security requirements of computer-based information systems and those of manual system using clerks and filing cabinets? First, threat. A threat is any potential danger that could exploit a vulnerability and cause harm to the system or an organization. It can be intentional, such as hacker attempting to break into a network, or unintentional, such as a natural disaster that disrupts business operations. Second, vulnerability. A vulnerability is a weakness in a system or an organization that can be exploited a threat to cause harm. Third, loss. Loss refers to the harm or damage caused by a threat exploiting a vulnerability. Loss be tangible, such as the theft of data or physical assets, or intangible, such as damage to reputation or loss of customer trust. The security requirements of computer-based information systems and manual systems using clerks and filing cabinets can differ significantly. Here are some key differences. Access control. Computer-based information systems typically require more sophisticated access control mechanism than manual systems. In a computer-based system, access can be restricted to specific users based on their roles and or levels of authorization. This allows for greater control over who can access sensitive information. In a manual system, access control is typically limited to physical security measures such as locked filing cabinets or restricted access to the storage area. Second, data protection. Computer-based information systems typically require more robust protection measures than manual systems. Third, audit trail. Computer-based information systems typically have more detailed audit trails than manual systems. An audit trail records every action taken on the system, including who accessed what data and when. This helps to detect and prevent unauthorized access or data breaches. In a manual system, an audit trail is limited to physical records such as logbooks, which may be less detailed. Fourth, disaster recovery. Computer-based information systems typically require more robust disaster recovery plans than manual systems. In an event of a disaster, data can be restored from backups and systems can be brought back only online quickly. In a manual system, disaster recovery may involve physical recovery of documents or backup storage. Next question was suggest recent malware analysis technique. Malware analysis techniques are constantly evolving as attackers come up with new ways to evade detection, and security professionals develop new methods to detect and analyze malicious code. Here are some recent malware analysis techniques. Dynamic analysis. Dynamic analysis involves running the malware in a controlled environment such as a virtual machine or observe its behavior. This can include monitoring network traffic, system calls, and file activity. Recent advancements in dynamic analysis techniques include using machine learning algorithms to detect malware behavior that is anonymous, anomalous, or characteristic of known malware families. Sandboxing. Sandboxing involves running the malware in an isolated environment that is separate from the host operating system. This can provide a safer way to analyze malware without risking infection of the host system. Recent advancements in sandboxing technique include the use of hybrid sandboxing, which combines both static and dynamic analysis techniques to improve detection rates and reduce false positives. Next is code emulation. Code emulation involves creating a virtual environment that emulates the target system on which the malware is designed to run. This can help to detect malware that is especially designed to evade analysis by detecting and avoiding virtual environments. Recent advancements in code emulation include the use of advanced hardware level emulation techniques such as Intel's processor trace PT technology, which allows for more detailed analysis of system events and instruction flow. Next, fourth point is memory analysis. Memory analysis involves analyzing the memory of a system or process to detect and analyze malware. This can be particularly useful for detecting malware that uses rootkit techniques to hide itself from traditional detection methods. Recent advancements in memory analysis technique include the use of machine learning algorithms to analyze memory dumps and identify patterns of behavior that are indicative of malware. Next is malware clustering. Malware clustering involves grouping similar malware samples together based on common characteristics such as code structure or behavior. This can help to identify malware families and detect new variants of known malware. Recent advancements in malware clustering techniques include the use of graph-based clustering algorithm, which can detect similarities in malware behavior that might not be apparent for code analysis alone. The question was illustrate the public key implementation of RSA with p is equals to 7 and q equals to 11. Now it is given p is equals to 7 and q equals to 11. So the first step is n equals to p into q, where n is called the modulus for encryption and decryption. First we calculate n equals to p into q. So 7 into 11 equals to 77. Next, we calculate phi of n equals to p minus 1 into q minus 1. So, 7 minus 1, which is 6, and 11 minus 1, which is 10. So, 6 into 10 equals to 60. Let us now choose relative prime E as 7. Thus, the public key is E, N 7, 77. The cipher text C is equals to me mod n, me mod n. C equals to 97 mod 77, which is 37. Fourth step is the private key is given by D, n. DE mod phi n equals to 1. 7D mod 60 equals to 1, which gives D equals to 43. So the private key is D, n 43, 77. The cipher text message C is decrypted using private key D, n. To calculate plain text M from the cipher text C, following formula is used to get plain text M. Capital M equals to CD mod n. M equals to 3743 mod 77. M equals to 9. Therefore, plain text equals to 9 and the cipher text equals to 37. This is the answer. The next question was analyze statement and comment. Data security is maintained by four kinds of controls: access, information flow, interference, and cryptographic controls. Acting together, they reduce but cannot eliminate the danger of compromise. The given statement highlights the different types of controls that are used to protect data and their limitations. Access controls are used to limit with who has access to data and what they can do with it. Information flow controls are used to prevent data from being leaked or transmitted to unauthorized parties. Interference controls are used to prevent the unauthorized deduction of sensitive information from data. Cryptographic controls are used to protect data by encrypting it. While these controls can reduce the risk of data compromise, they cannot completely eliminate it. There is always a risk that is determined attacker may find a vulnerability in the controls or find a way to bypass them. Therefore, it is important to have multiple layers of controls in place or to regularly review and update them to address new threats and vulnerabilities. Furthermore, this statement highlights the importance of a defense-in-depth approach to data security. This approach involves layering multiple security controls to protect data from various types of threats. By using a combination of access, information flow, inference, and cryptographic controls, organizations can improve their data security postures and reduce the risk of data compromise. In conclusion, the statement accurately summarizes the importance of various types of controls in maintaining data security while also acknowledging their limitations. It highlights the need for a layered approach of data security, which is necessary in today's complex threat landscape. This question was explain various scenarios of symmetric key crypto system. If the key is unknown, a crypto analysis analyst has three basic methods of attack: a ciphertext only attack, a known plaintext attack, a chosen plaintext attack. Since algorithm is public, so what is your opinion for consideration of key storage, key distribution, and key unpredictability? The answer is, in a symmetric key crypto system, the same key is used for both encryption and decryption of data. If an attacker does not have known of the key, they can use three basic modes of attack to try and break the encryption. A. Ciphertext only attack. In this type of attack, the attacker has only access to the encrypted ciphertext and must analyze it in order to try and deduce the key. This type of attack is typically the most difficult as the attacker has no additional information to work with. Second, unknown plaintext attack. In an unknown plaintext attack, the attacker has access to both the encrypted ciphertext and the corresponding plaintext and can use this information to try and deduce the key. This type of attack can be effective if the attacker has enough knowledge, enough known plaintext ciphertext pairs. C. Chosen plaintext attack. In a chosen plaintext attack, the attacker can choose the plaintext that is encrypted and observed the resulting ciphertext. By doing this repeatedly with different plaintext, the attackers can gather information that can be used to deduce the key. In order to maintain the security of a symmetric key crypto system, it is important to consider key storage, key distribution, and key unpredictability. Key storage. The key must be stored securely to prevent unauthorized access. This may involve using a secure storage medium such as a hardware security module or implementing appropriate access controls. Key distribution. The key must be securely distributed to all parties that need to communicate using the crypto system. This may involve using a secure key exchange protocol such as Diffie-Hellman key exchange or using a trusted third party to distribute the keys. Key unpredictability. The key must be unpredictable to ensure that it can be easily gauged or deduced by the attacker. This may involve using a high quality random number generator to generate the key or using a key derivation function to generate the key from a shared secret. The next question was, with reference to DevOps, what is professional's role in security and trade-offs involved? In DevOps, professional plays a critical role in integrating security into the software development and deployment process. Teams are responsible for delivering software at a faster pace, which can sometimes result in security being overlooked or deprioritized. Here are some key aspects of a professional's role in security and the trade-offs involved. Security testing. DevOps professionals are responsible for ensuring that the software is secure by conducting various types of security testing, including vulnerability assessments, penetration testing, and code analysis. However, security testing can slow down the development process and can be costly. To balance the need of security and speed of delivery, security testing should be integrated into the continuous integration, continuous deployment pipeline, and automated as much as possible. Risk assessment. DevOps professionals should also perform a risk assessment to determine the level of security needed for the application or system. This involves identifying potential threats and vulnerabilities and assessing their likelihood and impact. Risk assessment can help to prioritize security effects and allocate resource effectively. However, risk assessment can also be time consuming and can delay the delivery of software. Next is security architecture. DevOps professionals should design and implement secure architectures for the software system. Next is security awareness. DevOps professionals should also promote security awareness among their colleagues, customers, and other stakeholders. In conclusion, DevOps professionals play a crucial role in integrating security into the software development process, and they must balance the need of security with the need of speed of delivery. This is all about the first internal question paper. Thank you for watching.